United Kingdom eno a eye Boris Johnson ba bonten e de nsem beto wo se adwumadi ade ahye ne nsa no ogyam ato ho emom otwen se ombetimi anya eye government foforo ano mefo meeting foforo na wasole afri so we ene nsem wo kan na no kosiye meni ma babs ebedi nkomo na mesan so ne menua bi ewo eye United Kingdom efe ne boatin so adi nkomo afa nsem a ekosi no yage update kakra ewo United Kingdom. Papa yasemu a oka enyina ene se yesi party bi ekoso emre ono no kwhye mra se mo bia enye party na ono ne team kwhye ba bi kwaye party na video ipie ba abonten na eno kwa corona no kwa ebichi ono ankasa a otim so obre yi ankasa eno na nam so ema yabobo bonija ma ne team no a ohwe omo screen so yi ebi ayi omo ho kra de afri eye adwumakuo ni because omo hwe ne omo a ekoso se omo hye mra na omo buso na omo ankasa astarte resign a chese enye asem ketwa yebekwa akotie nsem ahodo a ekoso emra oba bekasa ene eye omo parliament nso ha omo si conduct omo ho we eye omo parliament ana wo hwe ne simple sa no wutim so mko do parliament na so omo kasa onipa no go straight to the point enye eho no omo kwaye roll for ne ye kotam blade akotwa obi hwene ne ade eye serious eye argument no omo ye wo ho a ebetimi aboama oman no etimenya no ntuma papa efra yentie nsem a eye opanyini ya woda so yi na oka se enche eye Boris beba abonten na wabayi nsem ano e de ama ono ankasa ne ho yentie nsem a letuya.
Will speak shortly. I cannot preempt the Prime Minister's statement, and the House and the nation will hear more imminently. In the meantime, the business of government continues, supported in the usual way by our excellent civil service. There will continue to be ministers of the Crown in place, including in all great offices of state. We must continue to serve our country, constituents, and the general public first and foremost. It is our duty now to make sure the people of this country have a functioning government. This is true now more than ever.
Okay, eti oleto wo se eja omo twen ama eye Boris abekasa na for now no mekoso ayo omadwuma na nkofo ntia se omo functioning government a ebo adwuma yenkotie eye omo labor umani so nsem ono so eletu dwa emra na papa ikasa ewieye no.
Don't have a functioning government. It will be good news for the country that the Prime Minister is to announce his resignation. He was always unfit for office. He has overseen scandal, fraud and waste on an industrial scale. But the chaos of the last 3 days is more than just petty Tory infighting. These actions, Mr. Speaker, have serious consequences for the running of our country. In the middle of the deepest cost of living crisis of a generation, with families unable to make ends meet.
Okay, Maame enso ekasa kamapa ekire se functioning government bi en ho a ekoso ewo United Kingdom ho. Afen so utie nsem nso a Ghana fo binim wo mote won so erebetutu dwa. Papa bi odi nkan eba abonten a na wayi wakoto kenke. Na nani abre no ho se kenke okoto etim se cost no ewo soro de ma no. Ene nsem wo keka edeka ho no mebo we nyina wi na Afia go back to Boris nsem no so okoto na aduani ede baaye ene nsem wo kan ye ewo akire no o kire se baabia ayedin na ne oma oba bedi no wo de ko Ghana sikamu ana se nya asem ketwa na se wotim se o convert ede afri pounds ho ede abesene akwa akopiem ewo cedis ho yentie nsem a opanyini enso ekeka
sa meko we yo mo hwe meko kitwa we yo kitikiti eni kiti ema video ni nti enkase so kiti bi kiti yeah uni me bo enu 60 pence yes 60 pence already Ghana already UK pioneer abrochiro no beba di nkomo we 60 pence ewo UK ha say di nkomo pa the 980. 0.60 times 9.80. Okay. Some go way ya who is 5 cedis 88 pesos. Meko wait. Some go way you. Meko way and yanom way. UK abrochiri has say 5 cedis 88 pesos. Any memfan tonchen. Chofi baku way any 3 times 9.8. 3 times 9.80. Chofi nini o. Wait. 3 pounds. Sa chofi wait. Kita mi. Wait. Any 3 pounds. Na 3 pounds so the bag na sika mu a. 29 Ghana cedis, 40 pesos. Sa chofi wait kita mi. Yo. Fano some tonchen. Me kono bako say any because bako enso me. To say me to 2. Fish we so any fish bako we any. We any and also 3 pounds. O de call Ghana sika mu a 29 Ghana cedis, 40 pesos. I'm fan tonchen. Find chofi no tonchen. Dokono no any. Dokono any. Dokono any neba. Neba. Dokono any o. Dokono any eshemu mienu no 3 pounds. 3 pounds no that means dokono mienu we no 29 Ghana cedis, 40 pesos. Baku say no 14 Ghana cedis, 70 pesos. Dokono baku we UK has say no. We ne kita me no. Say baku say £1.50, which is 14 Ghana cedis, 70 pesos. Mienu we no 3 pounds. 3 pounds no kabo mu a na de baga na sika mu 29 Ghana cedis, 40 pesos. Mamfa no so ntwenchen. Bankuni so enie, banku bako enie. Ano so 3 pounds. What they buy a Ghana sika mu a 29 Ghana cedis, 40 pesos. Niye Nkuman kwan nkuman kwan ameto empamcho eni nkuman kwan eni o e wo bo mu keke 15 pounds. 15 pounds no what dey buy a sika mu a 15 times 9.80. Nkuman we nkuman we ya mi bedi ni ne ya mi bedi ni sisi ayi 147 Ghana cedis. Sa nkuman we Enema meto nyina kosi ekosi $25. Ade am bedi o $25. Ene ya o $25. Wo de ko Ghana sika mu a 244 Ghana cedis, 20 pesos. Bebia ye den. Bebia ye de bre. Enye easy. Hwenkuma we o nkuma ye si mani ma me bedi o.
Okay. Eti wei ensem a opanyin ede tu dwa a wo kire se ba bia ayedin na se UK ho nsem ene ono so ode tu edwa no na ye free ho akọ back to United Kingdom akọ hede ekọ so ebra na Boris eba be kasa no enkofo o mko gina ho ano mo twen se papa Boris be ba abonten na wabeka kire o mo ada se wagyae ana onjaye no omo ana ohu omo e wo screen yesu yi utim se na enye asem ketwa nipa atitiru mebre na ekuhyiam wo medias ekọ ho ne party team ko ho ada parties no so nyina ekobi ekohwe ne oma hodo a ekoso ankasa ewo number 10 ho no ana enye asem ketwa na omugina ho echeyi ankasa because na edru mira wo se Boris na ba abontin be yi nsem ano na menim ade cropotinti ana ekipu no a na watimi ahye dem ho ache no bete eyeden a opie bai eba be kan ensem a wo so woka e de kire nkofo ankasa ewo number 10 eho yenti ensem a Boris epie baaye no obekaye ansa na okọ akohye ne demo.
Good afternoon everybody. Good afternoon everybody. Good afternoon. Thank you. It is clearly now the will of the Parliamentary Conservative Party that there should be a new leader of that party and therefore a new Prime Minister. And I've agreed with Sir Graham Brady, the chairman of our backbench MPs, that the process of choosing that new leader should begin now. And the timetable will be announced next week. And I've today appointed a cabinet to serve, as I will, until a new leader is in place. So I want to say to the millions of people who voted for us in 2019, many of them voting Conservative for the first time, thank you for that incredible mandate, the biggest Conservative majority since 1987, the biggest share of the vote since 1979. And the reason I have fought so hard in the last few days to continue to deliver that mandate in person was not just because I wanted to do so, but because I felt it was my job, my duty, my obligation to you to continue to do what we promised in 2019. And of course, I'm immensely proud of the achievements of this government, from getting Brexit done to settling our relations with the continent for over half a century, reclaiming the power for this country to make its own laws in Parliament, getting us all through the pandemic, delivering the fastest vaccine rollout in Europe, the fastest exit from lockdown, and in the last few months, leading the West in standing up to Putin's aggression in Ukraine. And let me say now to the people of Ukraine that I know that we in the UK will continue to back your fight for freedom for as long as it takes. And at the same time, in this country, we've been pushing forward a vast program of investment in infrastructure and skills and technology, the biggest in a century, because if I have one insight into human beings, it is that genius and talent and enthusiasm and imagination are evenly distributed throughout the population, but opportunity is not. And that's why we must keep levelling up, keep unleashing the potential of every part of the United Kingdom. And if we can do that in this country, we will be the most prosperous in Europe. And in the last few days, I've tried to persuade my colleagues that it would be eccentric to change governments when we're delivering so much, and when we have such a vast mandate, and when we're actually only a handful of points behind in the polls, even in mid-term after quite a few months of pretty relentless sledging, and when the economic scene is so difficult domestically and internationally. And I regret not to have been successful in those arguments, and of course it's painful not to be able to see through so many ideas and projects myself. But as we've seen at Westminster, the herd instinct is powerful. When the herd moves, it moves. And my friends, in politics, no one is remotely indispensable. And our brilliant and Darwinian system will produce another leader equally committed to taking this country forward through tough times, not just helping families to get through it, but changing and improving the way we do things, cutting burdens on businesses and families, and yes, cutting taxes, because that is the way to generate the growth and the income we need to pay for great public services. And to that new leader, I say, whoever he or she may be, I say I will give you as much support as I can. And to you, the British public, I know that there will be many people who are relieved, and perhaps quite a few who will also be disappointed. And I want you to know how sad I am to be giving up the best job in the world. But them's the breaks. I want to thank Carrie and our children and all the members of my family who have had to put up with so much for so long. I want to thank the peerless British Civil Service for all the help, services, and of course our fantastic NHS, who at critical moment helped to extend my own period in office, as well as our armed services and our agencies that are so admired around the world, and our indefatigable Conservative Party members and supporters, whose selfless campaigning makes our democracy possible. I want to thank the wonderful staff here at Chequers, here at number 10, and of course at Chequers, and our fantastic prop force detectives, the one group, by the way, who never leak. Above all, I want to thank you, the British public, for the immense privilege that you have given me. And I want you to know that from now on until the new Prime Minister is in place, your interests will be served and the government of the country will be carried on. Being Prime Minister is an education in itself. I've travelled to every part of the United Kingdom, and in addition to the beauty of our natural world, I found so many people possessed of such boundless British originality and so willing to tackle old problems in new ways that I know that even if things can sometimes seem dark now, our future together is golden. Thank you all very much.
Okay, we someone Ura Boris. Edi tu dwa emra obegina simpie anim na one ekuro no ana oman no nyina afitwe nkomo yene ma babs edi nkomo efa asasem wi aho se edi epoten na ekoso ewo UK a wo he video aba abonten a Ghana ni bi kire se aduane boa ye den ni living no ekoso ne ade no edi nkan eni boat atwe nkomo wi an makoma babs so yentie nsemo a me ne boat nso ekaaye emra me free boat ewa ahoma so ebusa nsem a ekoso UK hono mayenko UK na meni menua bi ntwetwe nkomo emfree United Kingdom menua boate na bom te sei
nyame adom Mr. Konaba
na UK enioma ekosei
Ekonaba bibi akoso boko obekase bibi akwansi ye
ta
ai
wow na mo Ghana fo a mo ho no mo de se okwa na
Ekonaba adia no se dia akwa no se emra no ma ye wo ha no wo ye hwan kwa na se ubu so ketwa bi a eda ho se okọ enti no papa no cabinet no bay no wachiche post ama ahokwo kakra de nanso still na no adwuma na so mo ye no de omo ye
okay na che se emra de he na waye ade bone no di ankasa
ekola ba comment na comment na ba ye no I che se omo hihye emra se omo maame no wo care home ni ade no two comments na baninti no ye pese obi na ye mo afan mo obi akọhwe ne maame ana ase ne papa bi oda care home ho
okay
e chese omo na hihye sa emra no eto ho enti no na awofo ni bi kura ka se omo maame ye nkofafo e chese oweyi omo no omo kasa wo phone so a difference se de omo akọhwe omo kasa eso ye se man se mo obi akọhwe comment ni ntine se at times so omo ko ho ba ebi nya covid bi na ebi so next one year ade nti no ya hye man sam obi anko ho enti no emma no mo share no e na kire se ono a party nkofo no kama we no koso na no omo ye party bi e na omo invite no wase
oh next ono amra na wo share no wabu ono an mra so
yes wabu mra no so
oh I see now UK ohe hawa parliamentarians ni di omo nkomo na MPP ni NDC fatoto ho ho asem te sei
oh akwona ba woni tutu ya de no ho de a nyame anim ni na wabusa ye ho say anti democracy na ye no ye ya na ase akwona ba democracy no yanti ase ebi se ye se ye besuasu ahafo no de a bibia no ese ye Ghana first
Ethiopia
se etimi ko ye Ghana first dia pani bi oti ba bia so ye na dwuma wo ye regional minister na wo ye odwuma ye na obu mra so a atotwe da ho no enye se ukohu obi am ya patrol ma wo bu oman no mra so eti se pani mu bi a odi so no etimi kasa na eso okole obi fo ye de ahye ho eso ye krom no de parliament no obi wo NDC obi wo MPP ebi na obi wo post bi anye bakana so wo MPP ni to onka no kana no atum ono so ani tia se de ani ni eye enwo oman no
Na say ho no de omo fa ho no say oye party member kwa na we wuro for beti woto.
Oh, ekwonaba. Enu na ma adwuma omo ye no edan so no. If you say we say obi a okọ no a odi abobo no. Wa check time I say free so emra no so ho. They say also time say no obekọ. But I saw omo po obi train them up to September. It omo conservative for omo rules bia omo be di so. It omo hyehyɛ bibia so na omo ye omo leaders no. Enye say leader wey banti no obi a challenge no on the post. We you ko obi timika say on the post. Yenya no obi timika say we ye nipa. Na hade obi ani nipa. Ye pe di obi ye duma e say as the finance minister of 1.2 no. Omo ne BEMPAH but omo ko ni kan resignation letter dey atumu. Ena ni ministers for bi kwa bam so okoye says ayi bi. Ni na be kan ho papa no ba be pa cho eso ye ma police wo ekoye investigation and it say no one is above the law.
Wow.
So if last year and was started say all patrol or ye the so be ye bia but still ni microphone na catch and say the why na dey better so be call na we go on party ni mase if you know ebi kan no ye bia bi ebi kan no ye bia but still na no so far as we boom na so no there.
All right, remember video be ato so but before no video no mu asem me frame my babs later video no mu asem ne say o kire say enioma amoton ana moto ewo eye UK ho no bo akosoro pa ensem oni pa ne kan ne ye no kure o ti kenkeni ade bi ekosoro pa
eeii eye no kure say me kan ye tono £1.15. Say edu 1.45. And I say oko Africa shop oko de yebekun.
Hey, I see.
Yes, oh yes, I open. You Ghana for bia no pa dia akwa ma usika Acquah nso.
Wow.
Asana what ya we ya petrol bo ni ade enye yize light bill ni nyina akosoro. Say said the near Marco, I could say we October me call October me few chrome buyer. And I said, Mudia money problem, Munya, but you work a credit.
Wow.
As we are about here, first Naka, Otto Bois, you were short via Quabra, Naka Pan will be as a date in Bechamono. What of say, over Conasa Pan by a Tom and Asa.
Wow. I see.
It is the same for the say. Untia wo daika, entia cancer tax, economic and easy.
Yeah, better was yes, I will bring me. Better was a pass. What you mean, a chinko, your program, near my babs and so Ebekasa. Oh, my babs.
Yes, Equanaba, good evening, all to that.
Oh, yo, mommy. And Pacho, UK Boko dear Boris say, Ghana for Mumbom Como, Edian Ecoso, Bibia UK, I sit them with the same Boris no boy Juma.
And we were weekdays, and yet the match of my pop champagne.
And there's a winner, I'm so good at that.
I mean, I can't wait.
Wow. Wow.
I'm ready to have a master. Now, in the British, the Ghana, but is your way to Banaka car cray and a future show. I mean, the mamma, me pedocra, mamma, and your man can occur. Motor my album, man, near my 3 hours after 3 hours made to order made to me dash a free gym, me pay a may mawo. And share the me a money, there be a best say, Sikakwa, and also at the Banaya, and get the nowhere pet. Take it na on your mouth, aging away, fat and quote, now what an estimate busy. Navy and Amadune, in Kuman, why and I him managed to £15. Well, I bet them £15. In check, what about 2 days, but no better by 2 weeks. Is I say free the
when you man in Cassa, now you can for a man was no, or Mungum Kakama, Memman, or no Mon Croc, maybe be a command or Munkasama bas.
Na sir, be unity in will be a shy be was swimming you. and the besia no do. Muchinchim wa bi mo chinchim besia wo sako echire wa agi wo sika efi wo sem. Enka ka hu de besia ne sagoa. Oh na me maame yelo na edwuma no po ntua meka wo. Na regisha no ho. Na besia na watu a onye go na ogo wa. Enye go na ogo wa. Wa so hu besia afo ne tena. Fide Ghana besia afo ze sebio maka de 90% what's me yes we hu mobile na mbayinfo pii will take their leniency to be their weakness ono na ma kwasie na nyi watu a na agru na egu na obusu a ogu ya yo mbayinfo ma
Afi Boris case boy nkomo kakra bi me ma just 2 minutes bi na matwo me program no so Boris
2 minutes do shamam 2 minutes to Boris na asema 2 minutes do shamam
okay ma de ma nkomo Boris case no e de na sia adentia
yo ebusu afu me chebia we found that I mean 77 why am wa ba ya asem because exactly I had 17 years today. Na da me London bombings no okrodo 7th July. Na London 17 years today. In Chabare so on China on 8th July na chede. See so abe a day to remember. Boris Johnson obad na ashas no a London mayor. Na mom ya mesi anka no kwa ne charisma ze amebas zema. Our charisma to command nipa pa de obenye chitaifu easily. And when what say etro bor baba na osane ba wodo na wiadi muso honesty na integrity say elaka owenye wana you need to be your downfall and no kwa oya krote nipa de manokwa under techra mado akoshi didiza embra odoboyo ma akoshi we wa ahwo. She there time our friend and Bray exit be David Cameron no occurs signing the occur the bear referendum against Bray either to UK to remain in EU or to leave. Nature dealer onyen no ye. Na dealer David Cameron UK no ye. But abrochin to the Africa will change in Yama. And see, once a while can't out one my yacht the obey referendum or what day. And when to referendum ben, not David Nalan or what remain. I mean, I voted for remain because Misha Mukromi ha. Muhu them while more woman was more cat so more. No more of a nyama pea wa. EU, that's why the what scan. EU was subsidized. And woman charities na other the research na the seeker to do it. Oh, and then there movement no show on your bad. Oh, and see Chinchina, Boris Johnson, Michael Gove, Nigel Farage, the Munko Febasi. What you made that would see Acquah Shibia, the Marco Shimu be that. What you make catch UK food in another day. Every week, UK is 350 is it billion or something? Billion, no what they call EU. Now the Mexican obotumesi hospitals by a 4 within a month. That's the lie they told the UK, the British people. Why you know advancing now that they what can vaccine when that made people to believe that means a young EU. Ekonaba na join me bufun point there. One vote for leaving. Results in the bear now. Leave a winning. What's all? When that definitely remain will win. Now too is do uche for them that na. Messi that what results now. Leave will winning. That make dana you bring na Michael Gove na Nigel Farage. What to make UK food there? Hospitals now, then trade or you call there every month will to me see. We see hospital. That very day, they told them the Anyad will to why. So why did you lie? That's to get the votes for people to leave the European Union. On indenture, entire them that Theresa May or take over from David. I almost say, or bid the Nimidor Kaya, Nesta will win and one another will resign. It's David Cameron or resigning because or will remain loose or not resigning as a prime minister. Now number 10 and Neribisan or the residence for the official residence for the prime minister and also the office for the prime minister. Then number 11 here for exchequer, why the finance minister. And see, time Theresa May take you over. But I mean, in my opinion, mistake Theresa May day. And Chaudoka day. Since Britain for PM they were lied to. Into normal, we voted so we'll buy another referendum. So I end the man into remain winning. Now no so I bet you know what I say. Brexit means Brexit. That's why the or no will remain. Now negotiations are my many years. It wasn't bad, but Boris Johnson by hook or crook or your prime minister Ninti or in the cruise was sabotaging Maame till this man has to resign. No, Boris overtake over. And didn't feel there. Position or the whole, let me go for it. No, but meanwhile, leadership and or be no quality, sir. Yamizaman. The in me yet, and then a la in me yet. It's all bad, and with that, and yet my ping wa. He didn't have a clue. Resign the already prime minister, okay, Okasanoy concept, and with that, on him how to govern, to be honest, but charisma, or would be. Never be or hitting from points after Brexit. Ne only take over, ne COVID so obey. COVID the I can still remember and picture this man saying on the telly there, unfortunately, some of you will lose loved ones. He said it with a grin. Maybe you need Shredder. The middle mirror away. The look at the master me, ne at the smile at it. He did the how the neck of father handle. COVID wa Ghana. Said the men papa handle waha in Chankofu and Wuda. Time at COVID the bed on the 8th March or somewhere in March. Not the neck of father or close all schools. Meanwhile, no UK where the homework school. It took parents to keep morning and morning. They won't close schools before we close the schools. Not the man that you would do. PP hospitals when you supply. Minimum for you go hospital. What to walk catch on door. Since you will see then ended the worship or what to will use. How? It's not only been on Mason a COVID or say, Yamin or my watcher. And there he took the COVID for granted. He took it for granted. Made the soldier put in place that he didn't do anything. He couldn't be bothered. It took a long time. I thought to be in there, vaccine in Okajibe. But look at the number of people who died. They could have been saved. And to my yet. No, since I did the whole world is it no bokosu because of the pandemic everywhere in the world. And no bokosu because of the pandemic. Now he's all the time thinking about himself, selfishness. Or think about himself and just the few people within his circle. He doesn't care about the rest of the the people. They said you were conservative. Wontumi Captain Smart there, young pension 66 to 67 years. No, 48 years no pension. Look at it. Why are there? They don't care. Since food banks. And work food banks, there should be pork food bank it's banana. He shouldn't be there, or she shouldn't be there. But a community our dog. Sika Okitawa. I mean, there, maybe to obey some message. I went for shopping. Another obofour shopping. Where you buy all this? Why are you spending so much? Because my man I think I could have been bro. Now, so what do? I have to pay for it. No so come net our friend that resignation vote of confidence no do we need next second one was shamol nyamalo kwana why na in the on step down no biaba ofi do olukọ na ha no was friend them parliamentary democracy. UK will practice parliamentary democracy. Unlike Ghana and America, or your executive president, I have parliamentary democracy. Into Prime Minister Bialan or your MP. Into still obey any MP Juma. That's why they will resign. Obey any MP Juma Tilebia another elections, Baba. So Obokwa no obey resign is entirely up to him. Prime Minister Bia your MP.
All right.
And it's a resignation upon resignation. All about one side. Now the ministers 59 now I resign. Because that is the only year I didn't put on your position 36 hours. No resigning on you. And this is an on you one man on you horrified that has forced him to resign. And yet the meza in John White wasting to you there or resigning there on resignation. And we see the whole thing here. And there's lots of trust and everything. And so much resignation. It's not there. Oh, she don't. So kanankuza nje still on position na no ye ne de. Na no kwa oya say na COVID akan ye na egudemi na owunya wo ministers muji mwenwa. Why? Nkofu wimpa wentum wankwa nkesie hwan. Nipa kekebe bi na okwe wentum anka visit wonko. That how so the family won fenza agro. Abrofo aye bi mu kade bro abrofo mpe family na oho ya mesro. Wonfo wo family nza agro paswa. When to my question, yes, one goodbye. No one reach way when it's on the result. No, you got to resign. It's I may be in your day or the compare me with the biso, the Nekufa barrier. Mason and the Nekufa all handle COVID in Kotin. So Boris Yenda, man, in Chonkonfe with them. Even they were saying it on news over here in the UK. The president of Ghana, they should look at how he's handling even COVID back. Ghana airport, time over them testing as one. Na UK. In Kofusan for flights, man, when they made a man waba, they didn't have anything like that. And see, or there, what should be an assistant politicians or Ghana? Yes, my dear.
Last question, I mean, we saw EU now more free mono, who is ever one.
Oh, yeah, because a common because it's to do with trade. Since to do with trade, and Yamano Boreas and Wahamo, because first nature, at least. Farming na zanumpo na meka abrofuna we Acquah Odifour how we Acquah Odifour I hope no work it through. I'm telling you. And to spirit to the family day na yenya nkofo from other Eastern Europeans na what be harvesting and just some day whatever and strawberries na nya what to at cheap labor there on your bad but sis yan you need want to one but that the first no waba fida nyama wabo obenyan wonya na obeya ka krempo if you can any of these countries you have to look for go for a visa because meanwhile more patron more joining now why the DBR and what would we for sure ma there be one pet. One tell you answer that. It's if you know what you mean, it doesn't make sense. I'm there. Research now, you know, you support my way and waha. So you have to bear your own cost, which is not healthy and it's not helpful. On yet.
All right.
It's time to me, necessary what fine one way here. It's I don't know how they are going back into hand back to normal apart from pandemic. Back to normal. It will be years, maybe 10 years time or more than that. And some will be back to normal.
Yeah, that's
it. Yo, thank you.
My Babs and my feedback. Okay. Eti utie asemwa my Babs ekaye. Efa UK Prime Minister free o free so ene ehawa enkofo nso ekomu no na enye asem ketwa. Last video am di twato edi amamo enso wo UAE Arab country no so I'm saying United Arab ho no omo kire se petru enso ho ayedin ewo ho a enye asem ketwa Ghana fo ahoduo bi a omo ewo kurum ho ena omo di video we eba abonten na omo kire se wasori ahomache ana akogina almost 1 hour 20 minutes nie ontimi enya diesel ni bi enya nto esefu ensu no okwa kope ya onya bi nto petrol no onya bi nto etimi se ano ayedin a enye asem ketwa intensem a ono so ekan
na boy din wo Dubai sa abusiafo ya da so a di line so line na ho ni hina petrol e beto petrol ha e Oman aba Oman ye hina cars na so hina mechanic ya mechi line wo ho pa nye easy ni hina ya beto petrol boy din petrol na ne boy din wo Dubai sa UAE no you see baby Andre see adiache but still near the line so me baha 4 o'clock see about 5:20 a.m. 1 hour 20 minutes still line no yenya ndru ho kra aka around 600 meters and sana yedru petrol pump izo abusiafo 1 liter no eko 10 Ghana cedi ewo UAE.
Okay. Except say and also at the better or can amana kwesi se bia ayedin. Minim wadwen kire obetimi wadwen kire go video na se medi de Ekwonaba boaten. Aha Ekwonaba television. That's it. This program is sponsored by
Hi, good day. Your friend Dr. Victor Nana Dankwa because every big dank healthcare. And probably then Comfort Hospital like catch up someone your liver and kidney related conditions. Obi one more your fatty liver. Obi one your catching so when your hydronephrosis. Obi one more catching so when your pyelonephritis, which is inflammation of the kidneys. Obi one more your catching say the kidney is so be a big now. Obi one more you send the creatinine and I send the GFR. And until we be so how now sit me tatai. I feel don't send me an atom. Johnson now be Johnson, we say phone be about be training. Kawakuma to him. And until now, Vigdan Healthcare, Yabase, you did not alternative way so ever so yare.
So over Vigdanka, it was serene environment with ultra modern facilities. Na so share your Acquah, there was painters, Coca-Cola runabout, close to Fidelity Bank, Stanchart Ichironuma.
Abidjan's Beauty Empire.